Hi, I'm Mike. Every ranch comes with stories, and today we're going to tell a few stories of the ranch, our history, and the history before us. And yes, even the story of the foreclosure pending sign. It's all coming up today on our Wyoming Life. A little bit different kind of episode today, but thanks for coming along and continuing to explore the ranch life and escape the ordinary. If this is your first time here, be sure to subscribe and hit that little bell button. Make sure that you don't miss a thing and turn on your notifications. This is Erin.
Hi.
Some of you may have met her before, some of you haven't, but she's here today to lend another perspective on the stories of the ranch and hopefully remember some things that I might have forgotten.
I was here before you.
You were here before me, and I've been kicked and hit in the head a lot more than you have. And,
I've literally never been kicked in the head.
You've never been kicked in the head. I've been hit in the head a few times.
You've never been kicked.
I've never been kicked in the head. But still, you're going to remember stuff better than I ever could. Over our years here on the ranch, we followed a tradition that I saw when we first came to the ranch. And I've seen it on different farms and ranches before. And basically that is, there's a rabbit over there.
That's the rabbits.
Things that happen around the ranch, they actually take like memoirs or mementos of those things, right?
Memorabilia.
Memorabilia, that's the word I'm looking for. And they put them up on the walls to kind of remind you of what happened, I guess. It started before smartphones were around. You couldn't take pictures of things and, send it to all your friends, I guess. So they put stuff on the walls. And not only does it remind you of the event or the experience, it's also much more than just a picture or a video. It's a physical reminder of that day, that problem or whatever else, the story that you had to deal with on that day. So we're going to take a look around the shop and see what the walls here, what story the walls have to tell. So you ready for this?
Sure.
All right. Behind us right here, as you can see, this is the license plate wall. This started with one of Erin's ideas when we had a subscriber bring out a license plate to us. I put it on the wall.
Yeah.
And Erin said, well, maybe we should do that a little bit more, right?
Yeah, I just, they were, I don't even remember why they brought us a license plate, but here's this license plate. I think you had already a few license plates.
I do have
you have
around.
some over there. And so, they were kind enough to share a license plate, and I thought it was neat, and the walls need paint, so we're like, hey, we don't have to paint, let's just cover it with license plates. And it's neat to see the physical representation of our subscribers and where you guys are from. Yeah, I think we have
plates from almost every single state. There's also some different countries, including Germany, all up there. And they're sent to us by subscribers who want to be a part of the ranch, or at least a part of the shop, anyway, or the no painting problem. But one of the most interesting things that we ran into one year is right here above the bench, and that's where I guess we had our first real dilemma on the ranch, and that was a cow named number 39.
Yeah, she's still here.
She's still here, who got a toilet seat, which is right over there, stuck on her head. Do you remember that day?
I do remember that day. You went out to feed and called me and said, we have a problem. And he said, I think we had flip phones back then.
We probably did.
And so I think you did send me a picture. It probably cost us 25 cents or something. I remember you came in and showed me the picture, but you said, we have a problem. This cow has a lick barrel and a toilet seat stuck around her head. I don't know what we're gonna do. I think I called my mom. I was like, what do we do?
So
and I was like,
you have to preface this though with Gilbert. And Gilbert had made basically a porta potty.
He made an outhouse.
He made an outhouse in one of the sheds, and it was made out of an old lick barrel that he had cut a hole out of the top of, and then he put a toilet seat on it.
Yeah, bolted
so
to it.
If you had an emergency or whatever, you're out, you can go and take care of business. Cows being naturally curious, and I think she was a heifer at the time, or maybe just
maybe a 3-year-old. Well, she was on this side of the road, so she was probably a 3-year-old.
Yeah. So she decided to stick her head inside the barrel.
Yeah, and so it was in the shed where the pigs are at now, and the cows that used to be before we had the big loafing shed, and so the cows would go in there at night. And I remember when you called me and said she has a toilet seat on her head, like I was like, is she okay? Can she eat? Can she drink?
Can she breathe?
Yeah, is she okay? And you're like, oh yeah, she's fine, she's eating. And
yes.
You had spooled hay, and she, could stick her head down and eat. And we brought her in the barn, and she hates to be inside confined
She's very
spaces.
claustrophobic, yeah.
So she was thrashing around like crazy. We didn't know how we were going to get it off. You couldn't put her through a chute because she wouldn't fit. We had her in a corral. We'd had her in a couple corrals, and she kept breaking gates and stuff because she's crazy. And well, she's calmed down, but at the time she was very claustrophobic. And yeah, we just got lucky. And one of the guys that had come out, she kind of stuck her head up over the corral. He just happened to be standing there, grabbed it while her neck was stretched, and was able to
right off.
So we got really lucky because it could have been a really bad situation. You know, I think at one point I was just like, we're not gonna be able to do this. Like, you're gonna end up shooting this cow.
Yeah.
But she was fine.
That was fine. And the toilet seat then went up on the wall. This I found in one of the other ranches. And I asked Gilbert, I said, Gilbert had an obsession with grabbers. He loved the grabbers. He loved doing, just.
Yeah. He'd drive around on the gator, pick up trash.
Yeah, I love the grabbers. So this thing, as far as I know, is in a very early version of a grabber. And what I asked Gilbert, I said, what did you guys use this for? He said his dad built it.
Yeah, homemade. One of a kind.
Back in the 40s, probably. Gilbert figured probably 30s or 40s. And what it is it's actually a snake catcher. So they would sneak up on a snake, and then if I can get this close enough, it just had a little pincher, and you've got a little trigger down on this end, and you would just reach down and grab a snake. Gilbert got paid for picking up snakes when he was a kid, and he said he used it all the time. They would go out and catch snakes. They'd put them in a 55-gallon drum, and then sold them to whoever bought snakes. I don't know if it was for meat or vaccines or what they were.
Oh, maybe.
Could have been.
For anti-venom?
Anti-venom, could have been. I have no idea. But kind of an interesting story.
Gilbert had some interesting jobs.
He did. And this is from the first annual Ranch Roundup, which happened this year. I had to think about it. In August, we invited 200 people to come to the ranch, and they were nice enough to sign. I don't know whose idea it was to sign the banner, but somebody had a good idea.
Maybe Nurse Tammy's?
Might have been.
I don't remember though.
But they went to it.
It's all kind of a blur that whole week.
It is. And we're doing it again. It'll be coming up this year in June.
Yeah.
So tickets go on sale April 1st. We're hoping right around there for the Ranch Roundup, which will be happening June 26th, 27th, and 28th. So mark it on your calendars, and you can get your tickets starting in April, and we'll have all the information about what's going on and all that kind of good stuff before tickets go on sale. So.
I love that because there's a lot of, I love how the shop has turned into a mix of us and Gilbert, and like the license plate wall, and YouTube too, it's a mix of all of us. So the license plate wall is another representation of our impact on the ranch, but this too, to see all these people that traveled here to visit, and so this is kind of like something that we contributed, and that I hope every year that we'll continue this tradition and
put up a new banner.
And just like the bull sale signs over in the sales barn, hopefully our kids will look back on all the Ranch Roundup banners someday and remember those things.
So over here on this side of the wall is obviously the foreclosure pending sign. We're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. Also, I forgot about this, but my dad's original headstone is over here as well. Erin and I actually went and replaced that headstone in 2009, 10?
I was pregnant with Mackenzie, and we went
to Mackenzie, so 2010, and we went out to Oregon and replaced his headstone with a new one, and that one now lives here in the shop. It's kind of like taking your dad to work with you every day. The foreclosure pending sign. So that's something that it's one of those things that either people love or people hate. I've had emails and comments that say, man, we had one not too long ago, and I can't remember who the person is, so you're going to be mad at me because I'm not going to give you a shout out. But, said, I want one of those. Where do I get one? That is a constant reminder to always do better in your life. And
to give 110% every day.
Now, and then we get other comments that say you should take that thing and throw it away because it is a constant reminder of failure or something.
Yeah.
For us, it's not. It goes with that. We take the A route and use it as a constant reminder that what we're working for and what we're obviously trying to avoid, but also Gilbert more than anything.
Yeah, Gilbert had an interesting sense of humor, and he thought it was funny. We were talking to my mom about it last night because this is not the original foreclosure pending sign. I actually made this. I had come back home from college in 2003. I spent a summer riding in the back of the truck with my mom and Gilbert and just going with them every day and doing stuff.
What did you do that whole summer? Did you just ride in the truck all summer?
I mean, that was back when...
Did you have to like move cows and do branding and that kind of stuff, or what did you do?
I wasn't there. I came back in probably beginning of June, very end of May. Well, I guess branding, yeah, I guess I did go to branding. There was 3 ranches then, and so we drove a lot. And we do all 3 ranches a lot of days. And I mean, I didn't help hay. I didn't drive a tractor or anything like that. I helped my mom in the gardens. I mean, we just did whatever. Like, I remember feeding Bummer, Oreos and bread and helping feed, I think White Cow and 80 were really young then. They're both gone now, but ruckus. So yeah, I mean, I just went with him every day. Not every day, but most days. And Gilbert had a foreclosure pending sign. He thought it was funny. He'd move it around
From ranch to ranch. The big thing was that, he would put it out on the highway and, then he would start getting phone calls.
Yeah.
And people would be, Gilbert, what's going on? Because everybody loves drama, right? So Gilbert was like the inventor of clickbait.
He was like the original troll.
Yeah, he was the original troll. He'd put it out on the highway and people would start stopping and they'd be like, oh my gosh, what's going on?
Actually, he would move it around a lot, and if the shop doors were open out here, people would stop by and, Gilbert, are you okay? What's going on? And so it was a way for Gilbert to get a rise out of people, and he liked that. He enjoyed that.
Your mom hated it.
Yeah, I mean, it's embarrassing.
She thought it was just embarrassing and kind of like
a little tacky.
Yeah. I mean, your mom did hate it.
Yeah, so I made this that summer. Gilbert found me, Benjamin found me a scrap of wood. Like the original one, I think it was a 2x4. You could hardly read it. It was splitting. I think Benjamin had made it. It was just like chicken scratched on. Like it might have even been spelled wrong. Like it just, I was like, Gilbert, if you want this, I can make you one. So I made the stencils because I couldn't, it was before Amazon and we didn't have a craft store. So I actually made the stencils and painted it, and he hung it up, and he was really proud of it, and he thought it was great, and it was a story that he would tell, until he died. It brought him he enjoyed it. So
when I found it over in the sales barn after he passed away, and we had a hired kid working for us at the time. I don't remember which one, but I said, hey, let's put this up. And at the time, it wasn't really anything more than Gilbert really liked this thing, so let's put it up on the wall. I didn't want to lose it, and I didn't want to,
Yeah.
But now it's really kind of got a life of its own. It does remind me of Gilbert and his weird sense of humor, but at the same time.
Did he ever put it up on the highway when while you were around?
No.
So I think you probably even had to come to us and be like, what is this?
Yeah, probably. I was like, why is there? There's actually another sign that's back there that when Gilbert used to drive the Model T in parades, it was a sign that went on the Model T and it said, my banker warned me this could happen. And it was kind of, that whole, poor rancher type of thing, and I'm driving a Model T now. And but it just, Gilbert's weird sense of humor. So now it ends up on the wall, and that's where it lives, and a constant reminder and a constant enigma to everybody who watches YouTube and doesn't know what's going on.
I know, it gets a rise out of the channel, so Gilbert lives on. I don't think of it as a bad omen, and I don't think at all of the whole
In fact, comment below if you want to. You can tell us. Do you think it's a bad omen to have this in here, or is it one of those things that actually makes you work harder and makes you think about the future and even the past in some ways?
I mean, for me, it's not even work harder. It's just it's a physical representation of Gilbert and his sense of humor.
So from the walls of the shop come stories, and we have lots of wall left to fill up. Each piece of memorabilia, from the license plate wall to the foreclosure pending sign, means something. And you may have watched videos and seen them in the background and wondered what they meant, but now you know. Each one means something, and they're all here for a reason. Thanks for coming along today. Our past creates our future, and I hope that from what we learned, it's a better one. Mm-hmm. There's lots more on the way from the ranch. I hope that you're able to subscribe so that you don't miss a thing. Head on over to our website, get signed up for our weekly newsletter there for behind the scenes and a whole lot more. Do you have anything to add? Facebook, Instagram.
Facebook, Instagram.
Mash all the buttons.
Do
all
sign
the
up for the
things.
newsletter. You get exclusive discounts to our website, and beef jerky will be coming back in a few weeks.
Oh, sweet.
Maybe a month.
Maybe a
but
month.
it's on its way.
Until we see you again, have a great week, and thanks for joining us in on Wyoming Life.